So let's now try to take up a couple of examples to understand the difference better. The first example says, he who laughs last laughs best. It could also be said, he who laughs last laughs longest. The meaning is, the final winner takes more glory than someone or the opponent who was winning in the beginning but loses at last in the end. To a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So if a person knows just a single thing or subject or has just one tool or instrument, then she or he may possess a confirmation bias, which means to interpret something on the basis of one's personal belief or system, to believe it to be an answer to everything. So it's not necessary that somebody who thinks that he or she has an idea about a particular subject, a particular topic, becomes an expert in every field. Please excuse me for this typing error. It's initially, winning initially, in is a typing error. Please excuse me for that. Now let's start with the very first proverb. A bad workman always blames his tools. This proverb is used when someone blames the quality of the equipment or other external factors when they perform a task poorly. In Hindi, if you remember, there's a saying, there's a proverb जिसको हम हिंदी में मुहावरे और कहावतें बोलते हैं, नाच ना जाने आंगन टेढ़ा. तो अगर हमें कुछ आता नहीं है, हम सीधे सीधे बोल देते हैं, अरे नहीं नहीं, तुम्हारा ये ठीक नहीं है ये जगह, अगर ये स्टेज अच्छा होता तो मेरा नृत्य तो एकदम परफेक्ट था, बहुत अच्छा नृत्य कर सकता था मैं. द एग्जाम्पल हियर इज माया. Here the name of Maya happens to be a wife. Today the cake isn't cooked well because the oven is not functioning well. So this is an excuse made by the wife by the name Maya. And Mayank, her husband, says, well, it's the case of a bad workman blaming his tools. So Mayank जानते हैं कि माया को केक बनाना ठीक से आता नहीं है और वो यहाँ पर सारा दोष अवन के मत्थे मर रही हैं. Next, a bird in hand is worth two in the bush, which means things we already have are more valuable than what we hope to get. Of course, it's important to dream big also, but then at times we tend to forget the importance, the relevance, the value of the things which are already available with us. For example, Dhruv says, why did you turn down that job offer when you don't have anything concrete in hand at the moment? Now Vivek says, well, I'm confident I'll land one of the two jobs I interviewed for last week and they're better than this one. So he is very confident about it. Dhruv says, in my opinion, you should have taken it. A bird in hand is worth two in the bush. It's all right that you are confident about your skills, about your performance, and about getting the job offer too. But then, why to reject an offer which is already there? You could have accepted this one, and in case you did get select, it is in any case going to add on to your confidence, right? So this selection which is already happened should be treated as a blessing, and then in case tomorrow you get another offer or whatever couple of offers you do get in future, near future, you could then decide which one to join, which one to reject. But you better don't give up, don't be so confident, don't be so overconfident. Here confidence means overconfident, but this is a very polite way of saying so, because at times we don't understand the difference between being confident and being overconfident. So this particular proverb fits here. A bird in hand is worth two in the bush. Next, absence makes the heart grow fonder. When people we love are not with us, we love them even more. Example, when I was with her, she always fought with me, but now she cries for me on phone. I think distance made her heart grow fonder. Now, here, the picture that I have chosen is a picture in which I was fortunate to have spent few wonderful moments with these school going kids from Uttarakhand. And these kids, while narrating their stories, these kids told me that they walk every day. They cover a few miles, maybe. I don't remember exactly how many, but then it was somewhere around 4 to 5 miles they walk just to be able to reach their school, both in the morning as well as after the school is over. And then after they return home, they do all kinds of activities and work which their parents ask them to. And then they shared their dreams to whatever they plan to do in future. The boy, the lovely kid, he had plans to be one of the army personnel. He was really fascinated by the uniform of the army people. And then these two little girls, even they had their own dreams, which one day they wish to realize. And I really pray to God that they do get whatever they wish to get, aspire in life. So I thought of using my example here because it's their absence today which makes my heart grow even fonder of all three of them. Next is actions speak louder than words. Actions are a better reflection of one's character because it's easy to say things but difficult to act on them and follow through. In हिंदी भी से कथनी और करनी में अंतर होता है. तो हम जो कहते हैं कि नहीं हम तो ये करेंगे, हम तो वो करेंगे, हम ये कर सकते हैं, हम ये तो करते ही हैं. और जब एक्चुअली आपके टेस्टिंग टाइम आता है, जब आपसे कोई सहायता मांगता है, तब आप कहते हैं यार आज नहीं, मे बी द नेक्स्ट टाइम आई विल बी अवेलेबल. तो आपके जो एक्शंस हैं और आपके जो वर्ड्स हैं उनमें अंतर आ ही गया. Let's take an example to understand it better. Keshav always says he'll complete the assignment of English, but he never does. So I doubt he will submit before end semester exams. Actions speak louder than words after all. Now here I have chosen a picture. This clipping was prepared by me only, and this is on adoption in India. Now here you see there's this 28-year-old bachelor from Indore who tends to adopt a special child, not any child, but a child with special needs. And this bachelor, 28-year-old bachelor from Indore happens to be exemplary in deciding something of this sort. And I truly think that it's only when you tend to take an action this bold and kind that you actually make us all believe in this particular proverb or adage. Actions do speak louder than words. So hats off to people like him. Next proverb is, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Howsoever gigantic a mission or job is, it starts with a small step only. For example, I'm feeling inundated by the prospect of finishing 3,000 word research paper by next week. But I may begin by writing 300 words every day. As is said, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. No matter how big, how mammoth a task looks like, if you start today, if you start now, if you start, only starting is important. Because once you start, you are bound to finish. Because you tend to get energy with every passing step, with every success, little success. A baby step is required to be able to reach your destination. So please try to take that first baby single step so that a journey which is could be as long as 1,000 miles may be easily covered and lead to your success. All good things come to an end is the next proverb. So as you can see in the picture, the young boy happens to look distressed, disappointed for some reason. And the explanation here is, fine experiences sooner or later come to an end. Example, teacher says or tells her students, our regular classes would be complete in a month or two. Sadly, I have to understand that all good things come to an end. And dear friends, if I talk about myself, every semester it happens with me. I do not know, it's been so many years, but still, I still do not know how to overcome this problem of mine. That every semester I tend to feel the same, that all good things, all good experiences that I had with my batch of students are finally going to come to an end. Of course, we remain in touch, we speak with each other, we are concerned about each other's life, but then physically meeting each other, talking to each other, discussing ideas, keeping our views, agreeing at times, disagreeing at times, all these things we tend to miss. But as it is said, all good things come to an end, so do our classes. Next proverb is, all's well that ends well. As long as the result is good, troubles on the way don't matter. For example, finally the remote classes using Zoom have begun despite the critical times. All's well that ends well. So, initially when this pandemic news was there, everywhere, every university, every college, every institution, every student, every teacher, every management, administrative staff, excuse me, everyone must have been in a situation where it was not very clear as to from here how are we going to take up this particular task. What way to choose and what direction to take and what direction to move towards. But then eventually and gradually, we all collectively thought across the board, be it any part of the world, we all started in our own small ways getting used to the online platforms in order to deliver lectures to the students, in order to be of some help to the students across the board. And even that now would of course be over in a couple of weeks maybe, or maybe a month or so. Now, in case you tend to, as a teacher, in case you tend to enjoy conducting these sessions, these online sessions, and also in case you as a student tend to enjoy experiencing this new innovative way of connecting with your gurus or teachers, then of course you would definitely agree to the adage, all's well that ends well. Next example that I chose happens to be this one. Even though Harry was late for his wedding, Anne was relieved he came. Hence, all's well that ends well. At least the two got married, and that's more important. Next proverb is a stitch in time saves nine. It's better to sort the issues well in time or immediately rather than waiting for them to worsen or become incorrigible. Example: a timely diagnosis and proper treatment can cure most of the diseases. So we can say a stitch in time saves nine. हिंदी में हम कहते हैं ना, समय रहते अगर हम किसी भी इशू का हल निकाल लें, उसका सल्यूशन ढूंढ लें या उसके लिए जो भी राइट अप्रोप्रिएट एक्शन है वो कर लें, तो हमें बहुत सारी उलझनों में नहीं पड़ना पड़ेगा. बट अगर हम चीज़ों को टालते रहेंगे, प्रोक्रेस्टिनेट करते रहेंगे, डीले करते रहेंगे, तो डेफिनेटली ऐसा हो जाएगा कि 1 से 2, 2 से 3, 3 से 4 वो मल्टीप्लाई होते जाएंगी प्रॉब्लम्स. और एक टाइम आएगा, गॉड फॉरबिड, जब हमारे लिए चीज़ों को हैंडल करना ऑलमोस्ट नेक्स्ट टू इम्पॉसिबल, असंभव हो जाता है. तो उसी से बचने के लिए हम ये बात कहते हैं.